Welcome to the Vegas Check-In. I'm Michael Movestro. The Vegas Check-In is a program where we check in on Las Vegas vloggers, bloggers, podcasters, and visitors to see how they're doing during this time and gauge their thoughts on the present circumstances in Las Vegas. Joining me today is my friend and host of the Faces and Aces Las Vegas podcast, Chris. Chris, welcome to the Vegas Check-In.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too. I feel like I just saw you like 30 seconds ago before I started this intro. Time flies, man. Time flies.
I love this Brady Bunch life we're all living, you know. Hey, hi.
Hey, what's happening over there?
Wait, did I turn the wrong way?
Hey.
I forget. It's video. It's verse screen.
Oh, I am turned on the wrong. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Now I'm the right way.
Oh, high five.
All right. So the way this works is I have 10 questions, and basically I just ask you about whatever whatever I've written down. Of course, present circumstances in Las Vegas being no one knows when it's going to open for sure again or be back to normal and all that stuff. And I'm just trying to go around and just get a consensus of what everyone's been doing, how everybody is feeling and stuff like that. So you're presently in California, and it seems Vegas casinos upon opening will be depending primarily on those who drive to Vegas, as many people won't feel comfortable taking a flight anytime soon. With that in mind, how soon are you looking to go back to Las Vegas?
There's a lot of different things that factor into that decision, and it's a decision that I don't make lightly. The short answer is, as soon as we get the green light from California and Nevada, I will head to Vegas.
Straight up, you're going for it.
Absolutely, because I do notice that our government seems to be taking an abundance of caution, and so when they do lift restrictions, I think it will have been, definitely, for lack of a better phrase, overkill at that point. So I will go ahead and trust in their judgment in terms of, balance their judgment against my judgment. And of course, I will act carefully when I'm there. But I pretty much, when they open, I plan to be there.
Okay, so with social distancing being in effect when Vegas opens, some slot machines on, some off, limits on the amount of players at table games, shows being closed, some restaurants being closed. How excited are you to get back?
I'm excited to get back to Vegas because I have a lot of friends who live in Vegas. And so my primary reason for visiting isn't necessarily, I would say, the same reason that a lot of people do go to Vegas. I'm not a big drinker. Gambling, I can kind of take it or leave it. If it's available to me, I'll play a little bit. If it's not available to me, I wouldn't miss it. Mostly I'd be going there to enjoy the company of friends, maybe grab a couple of great meals and do a little bit of exploring, perhaps off strip. If a lot of things aren't available to me, I'm more than happy to go do some exploring off strip or even explore some nature. So I think mostly I'm just kind of itching to get out of California and stretch my legs a little bit. Just a little change of scenery would do me pretty good right about now.
As far as when you do go back, what do you think that you're going to be doing differently as far as coronavirus concerns are? Do you find that you might be distancing yourself more from people, washing your hands a lot more, being more not paranoid, but acting out of an abundance of caution about the things that you touch and things of that nature?
I think it's wise for people to do that. And I think you and I have this in common. I'm already somewhat of a germaphobe. And so I'm not touching a lot of things. I'm accustomed to not touching my face. I tend to stay away from crowds already. So my personal behavior probably won't change that much because it already aligns a lot with. And when I go to Vegas, I take vitamin C packets with me. I take I have actually bought, let me reach over here. I actually bought a whole bunch of little 3-ounce and 8-ounce spray bottles that I can fill with hand sanitizer and carry with me. So basically I'll just be, there you go. The airborne. I got my, I bought some gambling gloves.
Nice.
So basically
Nice.
my hands will be covered, and also because I have something on my hands, it somewhat reminds me not to touch my face with my hands.
Yeah.
So yeah, all those safety precautions, I will be hyper vigilant about making sure that I avoid any contact with people and things.
I hear you. When I was there, I was doing the same thing. I brought latex gloves with me. Every time I
Mhm.
sat down at a slot machine, glove went on first, and just play. And I was being I no, and I looked like a doctor. And I just had my camcorder here. Well, camcorder, my little mini tripod and my phone,
Sure,
and I'm
sure.
playing the slot machine, and you could actually see my and I was just like being very careful. Like I don't want to touch anything, especially at the time where it wasn't there wasn't a lot known about it at the time that I went. So I went
Mhm.
March 15th. And at the time, Nevada, not that's the way they like to say it, Nevada. Out
Nevada.
there in Nevada, huh?
Yep.
But out there in Nevada, they only had about maybe 5 or 6 known cases in the state at the time.
Mhm.
Uh, where out here it was like about 5 or 6 here in Arizona. So it seemed like I'm probably going to be okay. But at the same time, I also knew there's probably a lot more people who have it that haven't gotten tested yet and stuff like that. So that's
Mhm.
what I was being like with the gloves and everything. I have one of those weird aluminum key things coming in that I will sanitize when it gets here from China. And then I'll be able to use that when I go shopping. And yeah, I got the
Right.
touch. I got these gloves that are made for electronics that when you like do a touch screen, it
Mhm.
senses it. Because a lot of slot machines, you hit a bonus round, it's like, oh crap,
Right.
I gotta touch this screen.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did pick up a pack of stylus as well that you can touch screens with. Yeah, I have that
nice.
too. Also, I mean, I think it's important to highlight that the precautions that anyone takes is no guarantee. A lot of people will say, "Well, you're just building a false sense of security." Um, Perhaps, but if you're going to do these things, you want to make sure you're as protected as possible, and you realize you are taking a little bit of risk in going, traveling at this time. So, I'm under no illusion that these things will keep me 100% safe, but to also, life is to enjoy a little bit of life. Yeah, I'd take those risks to be out in big open spaces, not around people. That's okay. Like I think, unless they say that it's gone airborne, and then then I'm keeping my ass home.
I think it might be hard to play blackjack in a hazmat suit. I just think that something about the hands just
I don't think gaming is going to be a big component of the first trip for me. I said I would want it to be out there immediately, and again, it's to see friends. And if I find myself in any kind of situation where there's a group of people, I'll bounce. I don't need to be in that. I just need to
right.
see a few people, and again, enjoy a few meals, and get a little bit of change of scenery. And I plan to do that in the safest way possible.
What do you feel the mood of Vegas will be when people go back with still so many closures happening, social distancing, and you know, everyone's looking at it like, oh man, I can't wait to get back. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people looking at it as, oh man, I can't wait to get back. But when they get back, it isn't going to be the Vegas that they know. It isn't going to be the Vegas that they remember from their previous trips, and it's not going to feel like the happy place that they remember. I don't think. I think that when they get there and see all the changes and what's happening, it might probably sink in a bit further. But what do you feel the mood of Vegas would be for people who go back to visit?
The mood of the people, I guess it depends on their level of expectation. Mine, I'm ready for maybe a slightly more somber mood. Um, I think that's mostly what it's going to be. I don't think we're going to see a lot of the woo Vegas people, because people aren't going to be able to go to clubs. Drinking is going to be a little bit more difficult because you can't sit and drink at the tables with a face mask on. I mean, I did buy a pack of bendy straws in case I find myself in that situation that maybe I could put a bendy straw in a beer, slip it under my mask, and just, keep sucking on it through the game.
I've done the same thing. I brought plastic straws with me, bendy ones. Like on my
Yeah.
last trip, I had like this bag and I had straws, and I was then and yeah, like yeah, I get it. It's just like when they hand you a glass with no straw whatsoever, I mean,
Yeah.
even that paper straw is disgusting, but I just like they expect you to just touch your lips. And I don't know how well they clean these things.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
I'm
put
with
a
you.
straw.
I'm
I'm
with
the,
you. Yeah.
yeah, the first one was like, oh, one. Go into my little purse and pull out a neon green bendy straw and stick it in there, even though it looks ridiculous, because I feel safe doing it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. I mean, and I think some may question: is it worth it? Do you need to get back to Vegas that badly that you're going to go through all these extreme cases just to enjoy it? For some, no. For some, yes. And I don't want to put my ideas on other people, and I hope other people don't judge me for the things that I would like to do.
Right. Yeah, well, I understand that because also, as you had pointed out at the time when I was there in Las Vegas with other vloggers, there are some people on Twitter who were not thrilled with us being out there when
Mm-hmm.
everybody was being told to stay home. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't what was happening in Miami. It wasn't that, hey man, if I get the Rona, I get the Rona, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather fought in World War II, so I can go out and party, which is not why his grandfather fought in World War II, but you get it. And yeah, there was a lot of like, you guys shouldn't be out there and stuff. And we were safe. We were as safe as we could possibly be, but they didn't see all the Lysol spraying and the elbow bumps and the gloves and all the other stuff. But I think once the first group of people head out there, there's probably going to be some sort of social media like, what are you doing? I saw it today. I was watching Governor Sisolak's speech, his press conference, and I just had to turn off all the comments on the side because there was just some vile shit going on.
Yeah, but you also have to realize the stay-at-home message is coming from a place of concern for their loved ones. And
Right.
so, I understand the message completely, and I agree with it to a large extent. But as more science and data comes out, and as we see the time go on, and we're crushing that curve, and fewer cases are appearing at some point, most likely weeks down the line, they're going to give the okay for travel. And when they do, I will have the confidence that they've really thought it through. And mind you, I'm not one to necessarily trust everything that government says. But actually, I trust very little that government says. However, in this case, like I said before, I think they're going, well far and above safety precautions. And so when they finally do give the all clear, I think it should be okay.
What are your thoughts on the sneeze guards being installed at various casinos?
I think they add a little. I'll be honest. I think they actually provide a false sense of security, because we know that they can live on the coronavirus can live on surfaces. So if someone coughs or sneezes and someone isn't right there to clean up before the next player approaches the same space, I don't know if you're at risk. I don't really know if the guards are going to do much good. I know distancing will do good,
Right.
But I don't know how you spread out people 6 feet at a table, which again is probably why I'm going to avoid table gaming unless I'm the only one there. But even then, you're roughly 3 feet from the dealer. So unless they can figure out a way to get the dealer 6 feet back away from the other side of the table. So I don't know how great of an idea that would be. Probably in the beginning, I would avoid table games, and I'm not a big fan of the guards. I mean, putting guards between the slot machines, I kind of like that just in general, keep the weirdos from talking to me.
Yeah, I saw some of these images on Facebook. I have them going on the screen right now. And it's I was over at the watching the Pennies for Vegas live stream earlier today. He was talking to Gambling Magoo, and Gambling Magoo was saying how it's weird because like the dealer has like this clear plastic in front of them. When you sit down and you have one on either side, he says like visiting somebody in prison.
Yeah.
And I just pictured like you stroll up to a blackjack table, you look at the dealer, you pick up your phone, they pick up their phone. Are you buying in? Yeah. How much? $40. All right, hold on. Coming in for 40. All right, get started. It's just the whole like vision.
Yeah. You both reach out and touch the glass. I miss you, baby. I miss you. I mean, I made the joke on Twitter that those partitions kind of look like urinal partitions.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah.
matter of time before some drunk fool walks up and, unzips and, and just urinates all over the table thinking that they're in the bathroom.
It's just a matter of time because people have already done that without the urinal, without, knowing that it isn't
Without
a
the
urinal.
encouragement, right?
Yeah. Without the partitions, they have done that already. So
Yeah.
now it's even worse now. It's just,
Right.
someone's just going to straw up, unzip.
Right. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I think it's probably mandated, but I don't know how much protection they will provide, and I'm not going to trust that. Most likely, I would avoid gaming tables altogether for now.
When Las Vegas reopens, not everything, as you know, it isn't going to be open to 100% like it was. With that in mind, that it's going to be a limited Las Vegas, what's the first thing that you want to do when you go back?
First thing I want to do is I want to visit the places that I know have been big contributors to their communities. So I do want to go order some takeout from Jesse Ray Barbecue. I want to go do some gaming at the stations casinos because they really took care of their employees, perhaps the Venetian and the Wynn as well, because they've really taken care of their employees during the shutdown. That would be number one. Other things that I want to do, again, see friends, and that might be we order some food somewhere and go to their house or to a park, maybe out to Red Rock or maybe to, some other hiking trail and just enjoy a picnic outside. Again, it's the company of friends that I really enjoy Vegas. What brings me to Vegas these days, and I know that's not, what everybody wants to hear. It sounds too warm and fuzzy. But that's the truth. That's the draw for me. So those are the priorities for me on a post-COVID trip.
All right. Now let's imagine that it's October of 2021. Mm-hmm. Everyone is vaccinated. Vegas is back at 100%.
Yep.
Everything is back to normal as we know it. The normal that we used to know, I should say.
Right.
Now, what's the first thing you would do when you go
strip
back?
Club? Probably go to a restaurant, go to some of the restaurants that I've been missing. I love the many different options of food that Vegas has. So that would be, I'd just eat my way down the strip.
Yeah.
Or eat my way through downtown.
I'm there, man. I'm there. I'm totally with you on the food stuff. Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
When it comes to the stay-at-home orders in your state, what have you been doing to keep boredom at bay?
Twitter actually has been really helpful. It's been a nice challenge because I get to see what everybody else is up to. I challenged myself to try to write at least one joke a day. And so I've been chronicling quarantine day, at this point, 46, 47. Every day I'm trying to write some kind of joke. Like that's a nice challenge to think about, keeps the mind active throughout the day. I've done some goofy things to amuse myself. I bought a hammock because that just sounded like fun. And also the anticipation of waiting for that hammock to arrive has kept my interest level high. Basically, my goals are to not slip into boredom or depression. And I think I've been able to do that once, watching TV got a little old. Listening to a little more music. And I still have other things that I want to do. Like there's the stack of books that I want to read. I've been cooking more. So, pursuing things that I was kind of interested in, but didn't really have the time. And now that I have a little more time on my hands, doing that. And also got back into podcasting after setting it down for a good 5-6 months. So that's keeping me busy. So ultimately staying busy to stave off boredom, which could very easily slip into depression.
Good point. Yeah. You bought a hammock to get things because you thought it'd be interesting. All right. I bought a banana hammock because I thought it would be interesting.
And how'd that work out for you?
It's interesting. It's interesting, Chris. It's very interesting. The wife thinks so. I get it. waiting for things to arrive, not knowing, especially if you order something that says ships within 2 hours of order.
Mhm.
And then like, and it's masks, right? It's masks.
Yeah.
So I found what looked like I got hit with mask ads on Facebook of all places. And I saw these masks that look like, yeah, these might do the trick, and instead of having to use t-shirt thingies I'm using and stuff like that, you can adjust the back and everything. It comes in a pack of 20. Too good to be true, right? Yeah. It was. So plop some money down, for a pack of 20, ships within 2 hours. No, not at all. So it's been a week now, and apparently it doesn't ship from the US, it ships to the US. So I got 20 face masks coming to me from China.
Yeah.
That will get here when it gets here, whenever that is. But the anticipation of it, like to refresh that page, like, oh, is it any closer? No, it's still in Beijing. Okay. It's just something to look forward to every morning.
Yeah. It's like that kid at Christmas, waiting for Christmas to arrive, and there's that little bit of eager anticipation, and or a more apt analogy might be waiting for that Vegas trip. You get that, those jitters and that anxiousness as you get closer to a trip.
Right.
Kind of the same thing when you buy goofy things on Amazon. Like I bought a s'mores maker just because that sounded like fun, an indoor s'mores maker, and waiting 2 or 3 days. Is it here yet? That keeps the spirits up. And so that, and also then every so often there'll be some like other cool Vegas things. Like I know the Mob Museum does an online tour. The Neon Museum did an online tour. Las Vegas Magazine, they're having this really cool series talking to entertainers in Vegas, and artists in Vegas. And so I've been watching some of that, trying to enjoy some Vegas at home as well.
That's interesting. So if I hear you correctly, you're saying there's an indoor s'mores maker somewhere out there.
Oh yeah, I think it's only like $50. Which is basically, it's just a hot plate and sticks.
I don't get me wrong. I heard everything else you said. It's just that what you said, indoor s'mores maker, everything else just sort of faded away. I'm like, indoor s'mores maker.
Indoor s'mores maker. Wah, 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 wah.
Vegas entertainers doing live streams. Yes. All good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. Big Elvis did one. Big Elvis, I think he might be doing another one.
Oh yeah.
Big Elvis from over at Harrah's. I know he's done one.
Jen Kramer Magic did one.
Yep.
So
Murray the Magician did one.
Right. Yeah, he did that one. Came out, I think, today. There's
this video of the singer in Las Vegas on the back of a pickup singing on the Strip, but doing a live stream.
Right.
Stopped by the cops, but he handed the mic over to the cop, and the cop was singing along with him.
Oh, that
was
hilarious.
Pretty cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good stuff, I think, is coming out of this. As far as just you get to see the creativity of people. Like you're coming out with a new joke every day. There are people, like you said, going back to podcasting. You've been in some live streams. You've been on a live stream recently. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, and it's just like, and then I noticed that the vloggers too are like, I don't know, like how it happened. I'm not sure if there was a meeting about it with the vloggers or whatever, but it seems like there's been a lot more of, hey, let's just go online and do a live stream and try to entertain people. So like Hagen 2 Cent's been doing stuff. Pennies for Vegas has been doing stuff. I've been doing something called Quarantine Slot Machine every Wednesday night right here in the Movestro Vegas YouTube channel, 8:30 p.m. Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. For entertainment purposes only, Tito's and credits have no cash value and are non-transferable. So have to throw that in there. Just lawyer friends, like don't forget. Yeah. But what I'm doing is just giving people that, giving people their slot fix, until Vegas, opens again. And, Hagen 2 Cent, we're doing blackjack, and Pennies for Vegas has been doing horse racing and poker. Nick from Sin City Nerds has been doing these late night poker games, live streams.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, there's been this whole, thing about, all of us are doing something to entertain people until Vegas can open again. So didn't see that coming, but yeah, so it's fun. And I've been seeing all these commercials. What gets me about these commercials on TV though. Yeah. So on Friday night, right? My wife and I, we have date night. So, as soon as I'm done working, I work from home. I'm not sure how long I'll be working from home until they call us all back. but doesn't look like that's going to happen until June. So, but Friday night, in order to keep things normal, we still have date night, and date night, will consist of we'll go out for a drive. We'll bring Bosco with us. We'll go to a drive-through food place and a drive-through dessert place. Come home and watch whatever we're watching, and we have to have our mask on when we open the windows. It's a whole thing. And then we get the food in and we sanitize our hands. We get the bag and we sanitize. And then sanitize. I'm holding. It's a whole thing. But that's our normal. It's like we've said, well, we want to do something that seems normal every Friday night. We're still doing date night. That nothing comes before date night. And so we've been doing that, and we'll watch TV together. And these commercials come on about the we're all in this together commercials, and it's like. And they try to make being at home with your family look like such a sad thing. they have this like sad music playing, and people who are like at home with their kids. And it's like, as soon as they start bringing in Sarah McLachlan, it's all over. Yeah, it's all over when Sarah McLachlan's sitting there, like for the price of one Starbucks macchiato a day, you could help his family step outside for 10 minutes of air. It's getting kind of bad when we're all in this together. Yeah, everyone's home. Big deal. Big deal. You're home. You're home. That's the worst thing that's happening to these people right now, is that they're home with their families. And so it's like, I just think they could change the angle of that a bit. Show the unemployed, so the person who's unemployed, show that family who's going through the loss of a loved one or something. But no, they come up with, we're all in this together, this whole sad thing about staying home. And it's just like, come on, man. Right. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. My soapbox is gone. All right. Sorry about that. I understand that you've been on the Vegas Aces live stream recently. This is where it gets weird for YouTube people. It's not Ace of Vegas or Faces and Aces Las Vegas who's here, but Vegas Aces, right? It's Vegas Aces.
Vegas Aces. You can find her on Twitter, Vegas_Aces. Her website is Vegas-Aces. So it's all in that same realm.
Okay, because I know that people can get that confused really easy. Yeah. But I know you've been on her live stream recently, and you had an amazing idea about how to deal with dice while playing craps in the new Vegas. Why don't you go ahead and explain that for people who have not seen that live stream?
Sure. Okay, so there's obviously a lot of concern about people touching dice and passing them around as you do with craps. Well, I thought about, what if there was a way to change the pit a little bit and put like a trampoline in the middle of the pit, maybe a bounce house, could be a bounce house, and then you get a hot chick in a bikini. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a hot chick. It could be a hot dude. Let's mix it up a little bit and have them jump around inside the bounce house with a couple of big inflatable dice. And then when they stop jumping, the dice settle, and that'll be the roll. That way you eliminate the problem of people having to touch and pass dice. I mean, it's for safety. It's for safety. And I think we're going to save a lot of lives by having a woman in a bikini jump on a trampoline.
It's the sacrifice that we all have to make during these trying times, Chris.
Yeah.
If it is what it is, I'm on board. As long as it saves lives, I totally agree. I should put some sad piano music underneath that part. If you could talk to every Las Vegas enthusiast right now,
okay,
what are some points of positivity you'd like to leave with them?
Points of positive. Vegas is going to reopen, and it will be the Vegas that you remember. In the meantime, while they're working through everything, be patient, be kind. Also, let's not push people to get back. I know we're all super anxious to get back to Vegas, but let's not push them to do it too fast, because you also have to consider the people who work in Vegas. They may not feel comfortable coming back to work that soon. And also, they're in a really precarious position in interacting with so many people from all over the country. people in their neighborhoods, you have to interact with people in the community, but people come from all over the country and all over the world to Vegas. So let's take our time and be patient. And when Vegas is ready to reopen, we'll embrace it. I mean, not literally because 6 feet distance, but we'll embrace it and support, and just basically be good people when you get there. And everyone's going to have a great time.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Like it. All right. I feel inspired about going back to Vegas when it's
right
safe to do so.
Yeah, it'll be great. It's going to be awesome. And everyone just has a real positive attitude and everyone being nice to each other. I mean, everyone's nice to each. I mean, for the most part, yeah, you make friends with strangers in Vegas. That's the cool thing about Vegas.
Well, that's something about that they say. I think you say this a lot as well on your previous episodes, that Vegas brings out the best in us, or we tend to be our best selves when we're in Las Vegas. And so there's this other part to it that you do as well. Be good to each other. Man, it's been so long since you've had a podcast. What's it been, about 3 years? No, I feel like it was 2019 somewhere. But you always said this thing. Remember that Vegas brings out the best in us. We're our best selves when we're in. You used to close your show with it.
Yeah. That's close enough. I mean, I can't remember it either. It's been so long. I actually changed it, so I don't remember what I used to say. But that's the gist of it.
That's the gist. It's a good gist. It's a very good gist.
Yeah. I make jokes with complete strangers, and everyone's always down to just have a good time together. It's a really cheery, positive atmosphere for the most part. Unless you get belligerent, drunk, and get into a fight with someone. But it's never happened to me. But
not me either, that I know of, that I remember. I mean, I've been going for a long time, but I don't think I hope I haven't. Anyway, is there anything that you would like to plug?
I would like to plug, I guess, like I said, we make a lot of friends. And so Heather's Vegas-aces.com. She has a YouTube channel. So check that out. Hagen Tucson has a great YouTube channel. Same thing with you. The Aces of Vegas. Man, Ace of Vegas is good too. There are too many things to plug. I think you're just going to have to keep watching as Michael has these people on his show and get to know them. And of course, my podcast is called Faces and Aces Las Vegas. You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, all the regular podcast players. And we got new episodes coming out too. So hopefully that'll keep you distracted during quarantine time.
And I understand you have an idea for a certain table game to make it fun. I don't want to be the one to give it all away because it's your thing, but do you think that's going to be coming to your YouTube channel anytime soon?
Oh, that's Heather and I during the quarantine time, we've been collaborating on a bunch of stuff, and it's mostly been on her YouTube channel. I guess we'll keep it quiet for now because I'm not sure when we're actually going to get it together. We're still in the process of putting it together, but basically it's going to be like, imagine a Japanese game show mixed with blackjack. That's probably the most apt description.
See, this is called creating a buzz. What are they talking about? What could that be? Stay tuned. Make sure you follow Faces and Aces Las Vegas on Twitter, and follow Vegas Aces as well, as more developments of that awesome idea that I'm not going to talk anymore about happens because it's their baby. But it's going to be awesome. I'm just going to tell you that. Well, Chris, thanks for being here. I always appreciate talking to you, and it was great having you as a guest today.
Oh man, thank you for letting me come on and hang out with you. It's been good. It's good seeing you. We got to do this more often.
For sure. Maybe not necessarily with an audience. Maybe we'll get on Skype and we'll shoot the shit for a while.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to tilting a couple back when we get back to Vegas.
No doubt, from a safe distance, of course.
Of course.
Well, everyone, that's going to do it for this episode of the Vegas Check-In. Is there someone you want to see as a guest on this program? Leave them in the comments below. I'll be sure to reach out. Also, be sure to hit like on down there with the thummy thing, and be sure to hit subscribe as well if you want to see more Las Vegas content from this channel. And until next time, when you're in Vegas, remember 2 things. Stay bright and be sure to do Vegas right.
Thanks for playing.